Obviously, it didn't look as impactful versus Optic either.
And I quite like seeing Fnatic go to comfort early on here, considering you could see jitters and nerves and pressure aplenty on especially Alpha and the rest of the gang. It's certainly not just one of them. So a good way to get the players activated early. And if you're Liquid as well, though, I mean, you're not putting this in the top picks of maps you're looking at picking up winning. I think this goes to the whole distance, if I'm honest. But we look at this round because there is a little bit of a purchase, not too much for Liquid, but a Frenzy, a Sheriff, and a Shorty. So a little bit of danger.
A couple of troublemakers at least here. Nevera famed in this current position. Usually good for one as well, but expect Fnatic to be extremely disciplined on the way through, and actually the Flash will identify presence at least. I don't think they're going to try and mess with this at all. This has got no Trailblazer to clear through. There's not really anything to dig him out of that spot.
Yeah, very clear lines have already been drawn. It would need someone to over-deliver quite substantially. And I like what we're seeing from Fnatic so far. Very disciplined, keeping composed. Bit of a peek through, not bad for Boaster. Happy to get one. Enters by his side. The follow-up, really nice work. Being game leader himself, happy to try and be the instigator. So the damage coming in. Two players now tucked towards the back of the site, Dimasic and Nevera. But to try and get any further damage would be very surprising. But Alpha want to get a little farm going. There he is. Get out of there, does his job. Spike safe. Time to escape the site.
Oh, obviously roll good up to the Spike. 4 survive. Actually, both were only giving up the Frenzy as well. So to round out this purchase nicely, we'll see actually how they sit here. 5,100 in the back pocket for Boaster. Decent ult progress for him as well. Up to carry through here. I mean, the Bulldog and the Spectre, but an extra rifle in the hands of Boaster is actually key here for round 3. The only gaps on the side of Liquid being those light shields for Demo and Scream. Actually, no Boombot for Scream as well.
See if that has any knock-on effect again. At the moment, could be a little bit of a look towards showers for Fnatic as well, so I wonder if that does come into play. Scream's going to stay pretty safe for this anyway. It's Fnatic working up towards Hookah, showing a little bit of presence, and of course the presence then. On the other side of things, a lot of information just garnered from that A site. That little bit of a dot coming through, noting Scream initially as well, so you can see the spam coming in to try and clear that.
Well, Dimasic posted up. Hold on to long. Again, actually, Yampy playing almost, I was going to say, safe off utility here. We'll wall off whether or not he's going to opt to stack here. Dimasic comes out worse off there in that scenario. Yampy hasn't healed him just yet. Actually opts to heal himself. Dimasic got to ride this one out with 45 HP now. Thrown to a wallbang and actually does catch one. He's lucky not to lose his life.
Waiting to see if they have an actual step towards the site though. Anything to really facilitate this cross. Enzo, what is this sweaty approach already? Let's have a little look what Fnatic are cooking up for us. So many of these corners now, not clear, you can see it! Enzo melts Dimasic down. And now Liquid just still trying to hold on to this front line. Fnatic are not on the site just yet. It's 30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
Still a lot of stall here from Liquid, actually.
And they still haven't got Yampy out of this corner. He can turn that flash. He's just fine. A little bit of a swing from the side. That's Dirk getting the attention. Yampy still standing, though. Spots another unlock. Gets another. Yampy has been a monster this tournament so far, but finally put down by Alpha here. The last one alive is Soulcast, and this bonus is looking real good.
10 seconds left.
Beautiful set piece there from Enzo. I think it's reactive as well to just relaying that information. The Dimasic was tagged so low. That's how versatile Fnatic are able to play. Enzo will spot out Soulcast, but I don't expect another challenge out. But yeah, almost baiting in here, but they've got to be conscious. Dirk is down on 5 HP. Ultimately, do want to maintain majority in terms of the inventory here. Hold on to as many weapons as possible.
He's out of there.
Beautiful round.
Really nice, and I'd love to almost go over that in slow motion, see the full intent. But I think you're absolutely right, though. It comes down to potentially that early damage that was noted on Dimasic, and him falling away, having to be more passive. They got a little bit of information where Yampy was, where a couple of the others are, but I really love that approach there.
I'm thinking actually as well, what Yampy gets tagged down to 79, 80 or whatever. Dimasic's the one that needs to heal there.
Yeah.
Again, benefit of hindsight, but what was Molly and 2 snake bites coming in. That's the one that actually lands on Tube.
Oh wow, no escape. Really good.
What's beautiful is actually back in cubby here. You see this, the Brimstone Molly, and another snake bite lands there as well. So there's literally Dimasic either forced to the right side of pipe, and then he's punished anyway,
Yep.
or he swings out left and he goes through 3 mollies.
But this is very
It's
characteristic
ridiculous.
of what we used to love about Fnatic on this map. Some really creative approaches, some really nice set pieces coming in, and all that great utility work was just great with them. And obviously when we saw the addition of the firepower of Alphair, that's when suddenly the Fnatic roster was a big talking point again. As it stands though, because of that bonus being converted by Fnatic, that's a shot from Boaster. No threats being made, at least from Showers. We look towards Soulcast though, because he is the one with the rifle.
But Boaster has identified early where it is. Some damage actually. Soulcast and Boaster happy to continue showing presence here. Soulcast the one that has to back away though. 45 HP. Yampi's actually found. Oh, yeah, that's in the backside of Market.
That's Ghost. That's a little interesting. Soulcast finding value. Late flash from Mystic in the swing. It's good. But he's still alive. Scream going to dip away into the Showers and forcing the investment of the ult. That feels a little over the top maybe, but maybe feeling the strain a bit with Mystic being so low and getting caught here. Dimasic's got him. And now Enzo and Boaster. Dimasic's got the ult coming in as well. Wants to force the hand.
Boaster's lit. He's inside the smoke though.
Oh, and Enzo's got one. Boaster with another. And Yampi, Ghost in hand, rifle upgrade. Has to find 2, and the molly just trickles into position, but he might get this to halfway. Wait.
Boaster thinks it landed.
He's not on it, but this is the difference with the crowd. He's going to hear the roar. Swings it. Denies it. And Boaster saving the day here. He is having a great start to this series.
Fantastic start. And question uses the ultimate, but in terms of securing this round, you absolutely can't fault it. Things were on a knife's edge, especially with some of the early damage conceded. And with Dimastic landed shots like that with a frenzy. Unfortunately, Ampi trying to get away with it. Does have the operator in play now. And a revive online. Let's see if he's going to wall off Showers early here, at least probably on the backside of the flash. Actually, he's posted up. They posted the operator early though.
We kind of roll your mind back even to that previous round with Boaster identifying where the rifle was as well. They've been doing great early work here, Mike.
They have. Curious to see actually if there's a rotation that comes through from Yampi, but looks like Scream's the one to come get behind this A-side defense, but I'm curious here because Fnatic are actually drifting towards short. It means if they want to commit behind this.
Yeah, Town wants to sticking around some time. Bullet's coming through, but he's not particularly backing away. There's 3 players here. Spots one and loses. Head-to-head between these two will be quite something to watch throughout this game, but for now, it will be Durka to truly draw that first blood. Sight now on a contest, out wants to take the space. Flashed up, though. Has to go in for a second time. That time it connects to Vera. Deleted. Scream, Soulcast, and Dimasic. I think Scream just copped a boatload of damage as well.
Actually picking up the heal here. Gets a 3v5 retake here. Not an awful lot of utility to work with. 2 satchels, Trailblazer, but no flash just yet. Curious whether or not Liquid are even going to give this up now and just look for damage. It's not looking as if there's a conscious effort here. And Alpha sealing the deal almost. Boaster with the backstab. Scream just left to hold on. Very commanding lead very early on here on Bind. And Liquid, I got to say, don't really have a lot of responses.
No, they look a bit flat here, and we've got to say as well, Scream 0-4, not particularly having impact yet. Nope, dealt with. Alpha getting warmer into this game now, and a flawless round coming in. But let's kind of hit the brakes because I feel like Liquid will be soon enough. Yep. This now needs to be talked through, right? Because they have looked flat, but I don't know if they have the capability of an answer here, because this is looking like final form Fnatic to an extent.
Absolutely, and the problem being, this is where you then start looking at the composition and asking questions like, what does the Sage do versus just putting Yampi on the chamber? And
yep,
that's the difficult part, because we're here live theory crafting it, but Fnatic have come and it's drilled, it's rehearsed. Yep. Everything's just looking so composed right now, and even Alpha, he's very tame. Very tame. There's no real pop to any of these executions. Nope. It's a slow burn, and Liquid are losing out massively on that one.
Talk about pressure. And it all goes well, right? It just turns him into a diamond. This guy, he keeps building from this. I want to see what happens if they do go for something a little bit more poppy, a little bit more, let him off the chain a little bit, see what he can achieve.
And that's the scary part. When he's
we've seen it.
When he's hitting, and then you unleash him. That's the scary part. Well, actually, even here, I mean, I'll come out and say it. Night and day start versus the other day when we saw him on the Neon. Really struggled with actually XZ's ability to just adjust in anticipation of, Neon's going to be sending it at us. I mean, so actually, Def was pivotal in that regard.
True.
Just the positions he was playing.
I just don't think, in my mind, and, again, take what you want from it, I don't think Neon comps work very well against NA teams because they're so used to it after seeing Optic just dominate the region.
They were molded by it.
Exactly. It's like they're not going to be going, the Neon's really surprised us here as well. Fully aware. And now, after the timeout, we are going to be down to the Sheriffs. Light armor and actually a little bit of heavy for Soulcast too. So, certainly not completely uninvested into this round, and they just need to do damage here. They need to get around conversion because currently, as it stands, Fnatic have the perfect tempo, perfect pace, and they have everything working well for them.
Durka again, posted up with the operator. Scream throwing out a gamble, but nothing on the end of it. I was expecting here, it's even with the economy, I mean, with the Soulcast, it's a full shield with the Sheriff, so they want to try and slow play this with the minimal investment they have made. There's nothing really no tangibles for Liquid to have a good stab at taking a fight here.
No, and
unfortunately, they've been getting rolled when Fnatic are allowed to execute.
Oh, yeah, off the back of that, I've just noted Navera also not off the starting blocks in kills. Normally safe pair of hands, same with Scream, looking quiet. Interesting. As it stands, let's see how clean Fnatic can keep this. Alpha wants to try and get involved in this, farm it up a little, get the pressure building, eats the flash though, forced away. Mystic on the case, but it ain't pretty. Looking a little sloppy, but they're still standing somehow. And now Soulcast gets to do the damage. All alone was Boaster, so that's a problem. Getting a little too hungry to chase down those kills, and they leave a couple of options open! And Soulcast is punishing. A quick rotation, they want to get out of danger. But Dimasick's still here, and the Molly's going to buy so much time. They have to either face it, jump through, try and do something. Dimasick, he has to try and buy all the seconds he can on this. Make him sweat, now it's time to swing! But Alpha and Durka are there, and then a fight towards CT! And now down to 2. The Brothers Grimm, who have had a disastrous start.
Screaming Navera at 54 and 20 HP. That paint cell must have done tons of damage. Durkin out. And back through hookah. But Navera's actually slipped. He's going to spot the head.
Always been seen. Durkin finds it! And now Scream, the 1v3. So unlikely. And Fnatic instantly disciplined. Letting Durka do the work. And what an adjustment. Got a little dicey over there towards the other side. Soulcast trying to heat up. And then shut down instantly. I thought Dimasick could have done a bit more there, but, hindsight 2020.
But great setup from Fnatic. They stack up, and again, they know that actually the only one thing that can go wrong there is Dimasick finding the kill onto the planter. Alfier doing so well to cover.
Teleport's ready.
Durka's so precarious. Managed to find it, though. And the next one's where it gets really concerning, because it's essentially at the point where, with the Tour de Force coming online, with the showstopper inevitably coming, Fnatic can almost buy out for the rest of this half.
Rinse, repeat for Alpha. Liquid look a little scared of this.
A little pacier now, though.
Yeah, taking a lot of space. Scream, no armor on him at all as it stands, so looking super vulnerable. And Alpha's in the spawn. Oh no, he's got one.
Oh
he's
my
got
God.
2. The third for the hometown hero. Postinated, you know what it means to him. Finally shaking all that pressure off and having the game he needed. Soulcast and Dimasick irrelevant to outcome, it looks like. And Alpha's still in the case. He wants this fight. He's hungry for it. The rest of his team allowing him a little bit more room. And this is the danger of the man on the screen. If he starts heating it up, it ain't gonna stop.
Give it to him.
Give the man the ace, Soulcast. You might need to back away from this. Pop Flash will actually catch him. He's gone down. And the most hated man in Istanbul right now, Soulcast. Denying the ace, but what a round for him. Again, this is all confidence, Mike. This will build him up.
Yeah, and it's a story of momentum now. What an entry, though, from Alpha. The
What's
pace
the
change
reaction?
is beautiful.
He's just pumping his fist after it. It's so good.
It's right behind this A-side set up towards Showers. And the problem being, Liquid back on a scrappy purchase, regardless of what's invested. The crowd getting right behind him now. And rightfully so, leading the charge now 13-3 for Fnatic. And this is the problem I'm talking about. They can essentially buy out this half now. They've got pretty much everything except the orbital strike at their disposal. Liquid have to pull something out of this timeout. But there's been very, very few positives.
Oh man, it's hard not to get behind that. You talk about the sixth man when it comes to these sort of events, when someone is so intrinsic to where we stand, and someone like Alpha here, young gun himself, coming into this and just having a performance. Now, I do feel as though as well, if you are Fnatic, you want to activate this. This is something you'll be wanting to build into. You want him to feel comfortable, so good to see that into place. But let's talk bigger picture now, because I think we almost have to, because 0-7, and it ain't been close. I'm starting to consider Haven an ascent, because it is swings and roundabouts to me here. It goes right back into Liquid's favor if they don't get mentally boomed dealing with the sixth man out there.
I mean, we talk about even regional, choking in the history, right? It comes down to the mental. That's always been a discussion with Liquid, regardless of who's come into the roster and what changes have been made. And that's the concern. That's almost the elephant in the room, right? If this comes to, I mean, God forbid this is a 13-0. That's when you're like, Liquid playing from behind.
And away we go. Alpha, first man in. And he wants to Soul Casket's a live to fight another day, but already Navarro's been found. It's so clean. Fnatic just formal with it. And what? Demon 6 Scream and Yampi. 2 towards CT, 1 on flank. That's already been noted. I feel like the momentum is just so strongly in favor to Fnatic. This is really, really hard to come back from.
I've just got an idea. I think he's spotted the barrel of that Guardian. Yampi as well. Taking a long time, but Yampi. Fine one for Alpha. Back with 2. Durka seals the deal. 4 standing once again. Liquid have done no damage to this economy for the entirety of the last 8 rounds. Beautiful pinch, even with the showstopper mess up. Again, the paint show in with the snake bite. There's no risk in any of these rounds. It's just looking so comfortable right now for Fnatic. Round 9, Liquid have everything but the Seekers available. You see a little bit of aggression here. I mean, you think back to the pistol round. They were the ones to try and initiate something, but been forced back in their shell. Immediate orbital strike behind this Viper's pit.
I love this.
Yeah.
Taking it right back.
They've denied this control. Whether or not they're in with the boombot going to come through, Navarro actually posted up outside the box outside showers, but Soulcast on the back side of this, not noted. A little bit of pressure, and Fnatic now want to pivot towards B.
Launching smoke.
Demon 6 playing much deeper this time around, doesn't want to challenge that early angle. Also got to be conscious now. We're going to see the same thing again.
It's looking very similar, isn't
with
it?
the wall in hooker as well. It's a carbon copy.
Now the rotation is in, Scream's here, and now we look for this similar approach.
Wait, Alpha still has his paint shell.
Scream just shot in the dark, it looked like. Yeah, absolutely, just spammed away. Orbital strike went in as well. This is all educated guesswork. Scream probably noted falling back towards elbow. They are rotting the clock a little here, but there's that utility we were looking at before. Not going to be a problem for Demon 6, but is forced deeper to sight. You can see its full intent now.
Do have to execute without the smokes from Boaster, so literally the first advantage we've seen, really. In a round where Liquid could reset after the kill.
Do you have a flash? Well, that answered my question. Still 1 on Mystic 2.
Alpha still looking to double touch down here. On the back of the Seekers, potentially, yeah.
1's gone. There's a second. He's been found. Scream's got him 10 seconds now. Fnatic needs to get towards the side. They do not have what they need. And Demon 6 gets a little bit of freedom. And he does so much damage with it. Very well played to Liquid in the end to hold their composure. Nice counter utility and good stall.
Fnatic almost a little hesitant here. Again, when Boaster gets cut down behind that smoke. Well, at least the rifle wall, sorry.
Yep.
But they got to win a couple more flawlesses to even make this interesting here in the first half. Scream finally on the board. Navarro yet to get on the board.
James Bond is not a name I'd normally put towards him. The 007, yeah, a little interesting to see such a quiet start, but it does just feel like a pure steamroller of momentum. Durka tour de force in hand, which is holding a slight off angle actually.
It's the first time we've seen Fnatic prioritize this in the early round. Now, Alpha's not here with the Boombot, so a little difficult to dig Yampy out of this spot. Actually, both the smokes come down at the same time. It's almost like both teams have that internal clock that's so in tune with each other. And Fnatic forced to explore elsewhere. Second time Soulcast has been posted up here and wasn't noted previously.
Let's see if he gets a little play with it. Shower control has been taken, so you will be starting to maybe question the lack of presence, but getting a little bit late in the round, already noted a...
Soulcast is relaying this information. Look at the rotation come through already, Lauren.
2 players on the way, you're absolutely right.
Welcome to my
Ult goes up.
Early snakebite though, and the molly to seal the deal.
Time purchase is perfect.
Yeah.
Fnatic not finding the pacing. Running these rounds a little later than normal, I'd say, is going to add a little bit more danger to this. And they're still yet to note Soulcast's position. Going completely undercover.
And Soulcast is going to see Durka so early if he drifts up with a tour de force. The flash is perfect though!
Oh! And Mystic on the turn! Soulcast goes down, 14 seconds. They need to get this plant down. Demastic, can you deny it? Can you stop it? He's going to get one. A second. Yes! Not the third, though. And now 2v3. Scream and Yampy. Operator with Scream.
He spotted Mystic's reposition, but it's difficult for him to really do anything about it. Yampy has to come through and deliver here because Scream's missed it.
And that avenue gets closed.
Don't expect Mystic to peek again, but the res comes through. Nivera back on his feet.
How much more can they do? Can they at least get some of these players out of position? Mystic just going to be playing for the time, the spam. He's still alive for a second. Alpha waiting. Denied on the first tap. Still having the fight. Oh, no way!
He's sticking it!
Sticking it! Scream! So close yet so far. Fnatic still move forward.
And it's the 2 kills that gives him the paint shell back to even secure that. Madness from Fnatic there. Again, even with this scoreline, they're still so methodical. It looks a little uncomfortable at points. It's like, yeah, I mean, are they going to make a move? It's late in the day now. What's going to happen?
Yep.
Beautiful adjustment, just on the muzzle flash. Liquid will be able to afford another purchase, but it comes through in round 11.
Here.
And that's when it gets concerning. This scoreline, if they don't win this round, round 12's not pretty.
On the verge of spiraling out of control. I call it what it is. It's one round.
Like I said from that previous, Fnatic literally could maintain their purchase throughout the entirety of this first half.
Here.
Absolutely right. And exploring a couple of options. No commitment with the spike just yet either. First time they've actually had free space towards hookah at this point. Yampy had been posted up in there a couple of the rounds, but deciding to dip back towards long. Soulcast going on a mission.
But on the back of that adjustment, what's the objective? Where's the value gain from doing this? We haven't seen Liquid really dip their toes other than Soulcast here and previously on shore. He's actually going to have pretty decent timing.
He could have excellent timing. And again, the villain of Istanbul here.
Fnatic won't be expecting it either because it's not happened.
Not at this time at all. And
oh, he's cooked it!
No!
Oh my god!
And again, not Soulcast of all players. The pressure a little too much. And now the 4v4, but a quick rotation. TP taken. They're going towards B. We saw Yampy here before. Let's Alpha pass for the first couple of steps with the fight towards TT. It's Scream with 2. Trying to come on in. Alpha denies it, but 20 seconds. Where's the spike? Picked up finally, back in hand. The fake flash!
Oh my god!
As if he's trying it. And now Enzo, the 1v2. Fight to the left. He's not going to win it. Oh, and 2 rounds. It's not much, Mike. It ain't much.
Round before the switch.
I'm even thinking here, what's the rest of the purchase going to look like? Yampy straight on the judge. Oh no. It's an Durka literally is the one to find it.
Oh,
Durka's even confused. He's like, is my teammate shooting at me? I'm not taking damage.
what's happening?
There's
Guys,
a vandal behind me on short.
I can see.
What are you doing, Enzo?
Enzo, please.
Friendly fire's off, mate.
2-9. I mean, one more. I'm not even going to start with it. It's been one-sided from the beginning here. And even with the smallest pieces of silver lining, it's still a long way off where Liquid would want any sort of run on this.
Alpha but actually on the back of context, happy to send this through screen. Closes the door though. Seeker's on the back of this, but they tell them an awful lot. Actually, 2 members noted potentially on the back of that on short at least. And the one through showers. Liquid now, I mean, top of my head. I think the second time they've had this man advantage for free. Nivera good for the spam though.
See Nivera starting to activate a little bit here. And there it is. Lovely timing for Nivera. A very quiet beginning, making the most of it now. And Enzo, finally, the Vandal behind them. It's the first fight. It's going to be Scream to close. Okay, 3 rounds, Mike. That's not much play here, is it?
I mean, you still don't feel good about it. Curse aside. It's barely a lifeline, Lauren.
Yeah, barely a lifeline. That's where we're going to leave this one to the desk.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypok. All I've got to say is, Alpha, yeah! Alpha, yeah! Alpha, yeah!
I mean, the crowd has been going nuts.
Yes.
Alpha has been going crazy. They had nothing to cheer about when Alpha played against XZ, and now they have everything. Just a wealth of opportunity.
This is what we were begging for Alpha to be able to step up, to look great again on the Rays, and boy does he, but it's such a one-sided affair when you take a look at the opposite side, because we were also saying Scream needs to have a better performance compared to what we saw yesterday versus Optic, and it's not happening. He went through the majority of this half finding absolutely no kills. Alpier on the other side, in round 6, he matched how many kills he got in the entirety of Pearl versus XZ yesterday.
Yeah.
In 6 rounds, and now he's just 2 kills away from getting as many kills as he had in the whole series versus XZ.
It's just ludicrous. Althea is turning up so hard. And this is why I say he's the most important player for the team. Because as much as you look at Durka as the carry, Althea just does, he's everywhere all at once. He's taking fights, he's taking trades, he's taking first fights. He's just all over the map.
Yeah, and we've seen Scream trying to do the same thing, but he's just constantly floating back and forth. It seems like he doesn't know where to play. We see that Auburn, he gets set up, he's just jump peeking into showers.
So let's look forwards to the next half, because the chances would have to start in the pistol round, and this is where they've been planting, right? Take a look at that little plant spot outside on A showers. This is that Sage Wall plant that you see from Ascend in the past, and Liquid have been running it too. So far, those pistol rounds have been abominable from Liquid at Champs. They've won 5 out of 21 pistols. They need a strat. It has to be something unexpected, even to give them a shot, a glimmer of hope here. Because otherwise, it's just bind his Fnatic.
It's just such a damning statement when you say, like, the pistol round, they need to win it if they want to have a hope. Because I just don't see it happening unless Scream just goes in for an initial sheriff purchase and just starts clicking heads. I don't know if it's going to happen.
The cry of the hopeless is, oh, guys, we'll just win the pistol. That really is the cry of the hopeless in Valorant.
I think there's a lot of Hopian and Copian going out today. Let's just get back in and see how Liquid are going to handle this pistol round. Pansy and Hypok, over to you.
Cry of the hopeless. I mean, it's not necessarily wrong, because 3 rounds and it's Liquid who need a pistol.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And even with that heat map, you dig a little deeper in pre-champs and you look at the attack success for Liquid on Bind, and we're sitting towards the low 30s. That's the concern here.
Yeah.
So is 3 enough? They have to, I mean, basically do what they've struggled to do regionally against a regional
Team
opponent. So, I don't know.
Yeah, proof's in the pudding. Happy to sit back and try and watch this one play out, and if they can make something of it, if they've cooked something up, fair play. But right now they're walking into a Fnatic stack. Oh, I mean,
double stack in Hooker.
Correct. So if they overcommit towards this...
This is madness. I mean, luckily Amphi's not creeping up there, but... Liquid are cautious. I mean, Spike not committed, so maybe a couple of players to at least
the
poke.
timing on the flash is so good. Gets both of them. And Mystic's timing just couldn't have been better. Just swings around it. Flash was in place. Damage done. And Liquid now just being herded around the map. Now, note how deep Enzo is sitting on this. He is allowing that stack on the other side. He will have to potentially just give up the plant, play a little bit deeper, see if he can do some chip damage on the way. Buy a little bit of time, potentially with some utility, but he can't fight this solo. He just needs to keep space.
No, just looking to play anti-plant here. So
that's not bad.
Snake Bite will land.
That's not bad at all.
Soulcast actually down to 40 as he stuck the plant. So Scream and Soulcast, squishy targets right now on the way back through for Fnatic.
And already Soulcast just got caught. It was Enzo to catch him. Scream turns attention. Boaster's got him dead, and now we're down to 2. Navera and Dimasic. And these fights aren't looking great for them. Dimasic can do a little bit of work on this, though. Molly still ready to be invested. Navera has to take the fight. Dirk has found him, and Dimasic can't see. He can't find the target against him. The defuse ain't stopping. Fnatic converting pistol in round 2, making this look like it's wraps.
What do the Liquid want? One good chance or a couple of potential face-offs here in terms of the early equipment in this purchase for Fnatic? And looking at it, yeah, it's going to ride this through with a couple of sheriffs, I think. Seen Stingers do wonders here in Istanbul, but Liquid don't fancy it. And Fnatic holding no punches here with the purchase on the other side of things. With Durka. The only one to pick up the Marshal, but 4 Spectres. I was hoping here that Liquid do try and make something happen in the early round, but yeah, similar setup. Spike not committed. They're spread very thin here.
Dimasic trying to creep a little closer on towards short. Alpha gonna spot him. Taking no big risks there, allowing a little bit more room for Durka. Gonna slip away.
Doesn't overstay is welcome. We want to give them an opportunity to find this entry.
Oh, Boaster. That's uncalled for. Does Scream punish it? Scream's already pushed up towards the window ledge now. Boaster needs to be very careful in this.
I think Scream will hear the jump spot, yeah.
Oh, he's going to see him now, but Mystic just turning around at the right time. The crunch wasn't quite there yet either. 2 players up long, 2 through hookah. Mystic towards elbow, and rotations are coming in. Once again, Fnatic still holding fantastic numbers. 5 standing. Not even a point of damage dealt. They've got it all going their way, and Dirk are making light work of it. You're going to have Mystic swinging back out. There is no impact here for Liquid.
Find this as well with the flash, but that's Dirk. Backlines, 1 left to find. Navera finds a consolation for Durka for his 3rd.
Very
I
nice.
said Liquid have their one good chance in this round here. Actually, it's 3 light shields. A couple of gaps in utility as well, and that's not what you want to see at this scoreline.
No,
I mean, Scream has nothing but the paint shell. He's got a light shield. The rifle, yes, but...
I mean, the headshot machine.
That works.
Talk about his one-taps. It is more
He
than
is
that at
6
the
and
moment.
12 right now.
Yep. I mean, the brothers in unison. It's a rare thing to see them both off on like a quiet game. But, I mean, a lot of the credit goes to Fnatic here. They have been playing a good game, but this is very much quiet from the other side. Bind certainly not sitting well with Liquid. Eyes towards Haven next, of course. And that's where we can really see the difference if this could go all 3, or if potentially Fnatic closes out in 2. But not the point for now. Bonus here for Fnatic. Not getting ahead of themselves by any means. Of course, as you noted, the light shield still in play, and Liquid taking their time here. As I think Scream really the only one to start having some commitment here.
Well, it does have to take its time. No boombot, right? So this is all just basically dry on the way through, relying on a gunfight. Mystic will give it to him. Loses out. Enzo actually will be able to get the weapon on the backside, but look at the pinch through the TP. Alfie has found it.
The timing could not have been better, and Enzo trying to buy a couple more seconds. He isolates Yampi, swings back in, and the spam's good enough for Soulcast to find him. 2v2, Navera towards the site. Spike now on Soulcast, sitting towards long. A little bit of a cross prior in place. Actually, a long rotation on the way around here for Boaster.
Go around the world. It's coming all the way back through spawn.
It's an angle Navera probably won't expect at this point.
I mean, they heard both T's, and Boaster obviously taking a little bit of damage. He's going to be noted, but Navera has turned this way.
Something's given enough of the game away that he's at least thinking about it, but Alpha trying to pull their attention his way. Both now getting close. They have to get a move on, and the timing's great for Navera. Swings out and gets them both. Good work from Navera. It's not over yet, but considering this was a bonus, that's still only 2 rifles coming through.
Yeah, good damage. They do get the plant, so that will make this a little easier, but it's still not comfortable. I mean, Ultimate's just about coming online. You almost argued it in that regard. Until these playmakers are available for Liquid, it's not really anything they can rely on in the early round. I mean, they can come and get the Viper's Pit, yes, but it's not really, you know, conducive to a set piece or an execute onto a site. They have to kind of slow work their way in, as they've been trying to do so far. Actually now with the operator online. Fnatic, I mean, a stark contrast. Look at the support system to put him in place to deliver. You see the same thing on defense, but haven't seen it early on here to get Scream in a position to really work his magic.
And on the other side of the map, you look towards Showers. Building a little bit more investment on Soulcast, one away from his now. And there's a first real step out of contact. Good work from Yampi. And actually going to catch Turka too. He had Scream by his side. So in unison, finding value there towards Long. But again, we did note 3 players there early, but Hellfire. No way is he going to... He's trying to get a little naughty with this. Okay, Nivera. It's quite an early angle to check, but he blinked and he missed it. Nivera's getting sharper and sharper by the second. Flash goes in, 5 still standing for Liquid. Mystic, other side of the map himself.
Yeah. The big difference being it hasn't really been Liquid creating an opportunity as Fnatic.
Yeah.
Maybe getting a little impatient. It could, in that regard, maybe winning out in the mental here. Anticipating this aggression coming through, and it's well handled. Yampi does seal the deal on a Prime Gaming flawless here in round 16. What can Liquid do with this now? Fnatic back on a lesser purchase. We'll pump the brakes here for a timeout. Orbital Strike available, just about getting close to their first ultimate cycle, but like I said, this isn't really an opportunity created by Liquid at all, but they are equipped to receive it.
And I think that's what I'm waiting to see, is if Liquid can create that space themselves, force Fnatic into those uncomfortable positions, either catch rotations, punish a push or 2 there, but maybe create that space themselves. As I said, not enough yet for me to be particularly worried about. It's still 11 with Fnatic, very comfortable. This would be quite the comeback.
It would. I can't disagree with you there.
Yeah.
It would be quite the comeback. I'm not sure that's how I would summarize it at the end of the game.
No, if that had happened, probably a couple other question marks would be put through, but as it stands, Fnatic will take a second or 2 to recompose themselves. Purchase-wise, again, you're not in any hurry at this point. You can allow these rounds, and I want to see patience. They don't have to be overactive in some of these rounds yet. Test the waters, let Liquid work, see if they note anything off the back of it as well.
I mean, to play devil's advocate as well, there is also an element here of, not necessarily anti-stratting, but knowing the opponent so well and the tendencies of what they like to do and when, at what point of the round, how they like to achieve it, what the indicators are. These are 2 very, very familiar teams. Which is maybe actually why, you know, we could allude to why Liquid played the defense the way they did, because they know. Fnatic like to sit deep. They like to stack up for these late round executes, and they're always very, very well choreographed. So it's very difficult to really send 1 or 2 people forward to disrupt that. Talking about disruption.
Boaster taking a lot of the damage early on, so again, Liquid being tested a couple of times here, and I quite like that Fnatic are testing the water zone, you know, in these moments, in these spies especially. A Guardian with Alpha, and he's got 5 players pouring up long. Alpha is not in a spot to do much about this, already down so low, 18 HP, just wants to get out of there.
Wants to still try and make this Guardian work. Call it a hero rifle, but actually got a dirty setup now as well with the layered smokes on CT.
Durka could do something from here. I'm not sure how aware that... Okay, they've backed away from it being like a point of danger, potentially. Postplant probably not comfortable. They're still trying to fight back that space on towards Long with the flash just coming out from Soulcast. And again, this Postplant set up towards CT, pretty nasty to try and work in against. Yampi not going to say it was welcome, trying to allow the next layers to kind of pull into place. That's Dimasic, that's Yampi now swinging back through. This is clean so far. Poster not going to get much damage out of it as Enzo, the only one to draw blood. Liquid with 4 standing, rifles continue.
Yeah, they're going to maintain that economy as well. I'd say, actually, if they can be frugal here, they get to 7, Fnatic going to be back down on an uncomfortable purchase. We'll have the tour de force to offset it, potentially the showstopper, but I'll be honest, Liquid finds 7 here, you do get a little concerned.
No, it's getting back on at 7, I'd say, because as I said, you've noted before the domino effect of rounds, how the economy might sit, and the ultimates coming through.
It snowballs so fast.
Absolutely.
So fast.
Now we'll see. It's 3 rounds on the trot for Liquid, stringing them together. They have a good purchase here, plenty of ults to play with too. Now, of course, on the other side, able to fashion a purchase. Is it perfect? Far from it. Still a bit of light armor here or there. Not exactly what they'd be dreaming of. Dimasic considering an early investment.
They're going to try and stun him with the dog, I think, and then cast the orbital strike.
Prepare for
I think they got him.
Yep. Let's see if he's dead. And so just about slips away. The flash Again, he is a lucky boy. A lot of utility just put towards him, but quick feet and quick thinking keep him standing.
And that would have been such a key opener because it opens up access to showers. To put all that pressure onto, I mean, 2 more players of Fnatic, but Liquid unconfirmed at that point. It would have been the catalyst of this execution. And the ping's coming through. Fnatic's still anticipating this. Alfia is looking a little curious.
No way. There's no way. They're swinging!
Oh my god.
Get out of here! The confidence on these two somehow still going. Scream just dives head first for Halos. Durka puts him to his grave. And now Divisic, Navera, and Yampy have to face the music. Boast has got Navera right back at you. Fnatic flipping the script in this one. Oh my word, Yampy and Divisic just stunned in this. Durka ready to swing if they do get any closer. Alpha just farming him away. And the confidence to walk that wall, Mike.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Catches Fnatic off guard. Even actually, catches Liquid off guard.
Yep.
In this regard, it's actually Fnatic still to be the ones to say, we're going to get ahead. We're not allowing you to, slow contact up short, get behind this wall. Like I said, actually, with how quickly things can snowball, look how fast things can fall apart. Liquid back in a precarious position now. 6 to find Fnatic on 12. Operator back out for Yampy. Probably implies the pace will continue. Back to this same default once again. Spike not committed. Fnatic, other than that one round where they double push long, been very good at mitigating this early round risk, not giving away anything about their sets up. Mystic. He manages to get away from that one. And he catches one through the hand.
Respecting Yampy enough to give up this space towards long, can't overstay welcome anymore. You still have that hookah control as well to depend upon if they need it. Flash gonna reaffirm that they are still towards long. This hasn't been just a lazy amount of clear. No, there's commitment behind this, and you can already see the exploration mission from Alpha on the other side of the map. So he's cleared through back of showers. They can pull that rotation card now.
Exactly. You can already see Durka making his way. Liquid need to go now. There's a window of opportunity, but when Durka gets here...
No. They're giving them no
the
play.
force comes out.
I love this. They're giving them no chances of entries here. Durka now going to wait up the back of this as well. Seeks to come in. Enzo dips back into the smoke to find a semblance of safety, but it's Durka to do the damage. Enzo there as well. Back-to-back kills. Navera, the last one alive. No, it's not looking good for the man. You got a firing squad on the other side of Fnatic. Fired up here. Alpha wants this one over and done with. Eyeing up map 2 early on. This scoreline, honestly, could have closed way earlier. Liquid pulling back a few rounds here. Navera, it's done for 13-6. Fnatic get across the line on map 1.
Fantastic performance from him. Slowed down a little bit in the second half. Again, that reset. The composure as well to pull off what Durka and Alpha did. They said a perfect read on exactly how Liquid adjusts on that early attempt to find the stun and the orbital strike on backside, try and remove that Viper's bit from Enzo. It's a perfect response. A little slow to start, I'll be honest, for Liquid. That's why things felt so uncomfortable in the first half. I mean, we even talk about it. 0-7 for Navera and Scream, who are consistently
they're not bad
pivotal,
players.
Pivotal to Liquid's success overall.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us happy to see Alpha having a good start on stage. 22 to 10, he closed on. Having a very big game for himself. Durka right by his side, 19-9. So both of them doing pretty good work, but a confident start here. And I think we noted it, and I think it holds true. Liquid looking quite flat in those opening, or at least the opening half, should I say. Yeah, and actually just come back on the opening engagements as well. I think the first blood to actually land at 13-6. So same as the scoreline here. So Fnatic did so well to control that early round, and actually, in terms of their attack, played in terms of that reaction to the early round, they capitalized much better than Liquid were. We didn't really see Liquid creating opportunities for themselves. I said the only real concern in the second half was where Fnatic were happy to get curious, go exploring, and it didn't end up mattering too much. No, it kind of boiled away at the end of it. Again, I think there was more that Fnatic could have lent on if they needed it. Didn't have to go that far. Mike, with Haven now on the horizon, does this then even things up? Do you think that mental boom factor could have been there?
I do, because the discussion with this matchup, time and time again, we talk about the form on the day, right? And this is why I come back to that same expression. It's feast or famine sometimes with both of these teams. So It's a rough start. We're talking about Liquid bouncing back mentally. There's so many dynamics in play here, but I'll just come back to the same thing. Two familiar teams. Fnatic will know now to dial up the pressure. If that's reflected in the pace, it's concerning for Liquid.
It certainly is concerning, but it's not our concern to break down. That'll be for the desk in just a moment's time.
Welcome back, everybody. It's a sad day to be an EMEA fan, but it's a great day if you're a Fnatic fan. They looked so dominant on map 1. I'm joined once again by Sideshow and Kilios. And who knew that Fnatic are good on bind? Who knew?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with this series overall, honestly, is that they're going from Fnatic's great map to a map that they've struggled on. So to some degree, you're expecting swingy maps one way or another. But that means that the Fnatic players are going to be so fired up, and Alfia is going to have so much confidence after that.
Yeah, an immense amount of it. And on the opposite side, we're kind of seeing the inverse, where the two brothers, Scream and Avera, having a really rough go of it. Kind of got moving by the end of that map, but they cannot afford to have another rocky start like that going into the next map of Haven.
325 ACS. I think this is what the fans wanted to see.
Yeah. I mean, it's absurd. Alfia had 20 kills on the attack side. And then when you move over to the other side of it, Durka goes 10 and 3 on defense. So they've got one heavy hitter for one side of the map and one heavy hitter for the other side of the map. And when both are firing, that's what's been missing to me this tournament so far.
Yeah, I want to talk about one guy who's not necessarily a heavy hitter, but Kilios definitely stepped up as well compared to his performance against Exa yesterday.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Boaster has been lacking a little bit in some of the struggles for Fnatic so far in this tournament. He has not been putting up the numbers that we have come to expect from him, but this was a fast return to form for Boaster. From the shot calling, from his own individual rifling, it was absolutely on point the whole way through.
Yeah, I just want to take a look as well. 9 out of 9 post plants secured by Fnatic. Not a single retake on the side of Team Liquid. And I think the retakes are going to be very important for this series overall, you know? We're going into a map where you retake a lot. Fnatic in general are retaking about 3/4 of the time. And the fact that they were essentially non-working here on both sides is pretty important.
Yeah, we also got to remember that Scream is the IG on the other side. So his responsibility is to frag and to call, and with like 5 other million things on his mind, while Alfia is shooting at you. So he struggled a little bit on that map.
It's a rough position to be in, but I mean, with that great pressure, you know, with great power.
Don't bring out a Spider-Man quote.
Do
on
it.
The desk.
Do it.
Comes great responsibility.
There we go.
But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like a really off game. Like I said, they started heating up a little bit, so maybe it's just that first map jitters. There's so much pressure. The crowd is going absolutely crazy over both of these teams. Maybe going into the second one, having a bit more familiarity on their map pick of Haven will be enough for Team Liquid to get back into this, but I just have to keep my fingers crossed because we want this to go to 3. Maybe not everybody wants it to go to 3, Fnatic fans, but I want it to go to 3. I'm impartial. I just want some good Valorant.
That's how I felt when DRX were playing. But it's time for our Verizon high-speed moment of the match. This one, a surprise. goes to Althea and Sideshow. This whole map just felt like a frag movie for him.
It's crazy how comfortable he is on Raze. And that's why my major point heading into this series was, get him on the Raze, get him away from the Neon. When he plays Neon, he takes a lot of short, close engagements. He's easier to read. When he's on Raze, he's taking mid-range fights. He's always in control. He's got incredible mechanics, and he just controls the map. He gets all of the trades, all of the first kills. He's just everywhere. He's so good.
Yeah, before we dive into map 2, let's take a look at the aim lab shoot around. We're going to be watching Dimasic here as he warms up. Of course, the newest addition to Liquid coming into this, and Kilios, moving on to the next map. What would you say is something that you want to see Liquid do that they didn't really do on map?
I want to see more of this because he's got 100%. Oh, never mind. I caster cursed him. It's over. But no, he's still, I mean, this is still incredible. The accuracy right now that he's displaying. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if just everybody on the team is going to be able to level up their performances. Having Nevera and Scream go, I don't even know how many rounds it was, 8-9 rounds basically, without having any kills between either of them is completely unacceptable if you're trying to stay alive in this tournament. You need those two to just be solid foundations, whether it's Nevera anchoring a site or Scream breaking one open. They need to perform.
They also have still only won 5 out of 22 of the pistol rounds. I mean, you just can't win when you're doing that. And it's not... I mean, you'd be very unlucky to flip a coin and get 5 out of 22. It's not random in that sense. They need a plan, and they need to be able to get their players firing in those moments.
Well, they should be the favorites as we head into Haven, of course, a map that Fnatic have banned when they chose to play Breeze in the past. And you guys both felt like, you know, letting Liquid have Haven wasn't the best idea for Fnatic.
Well, you know, you pick your demons and you pick your fights where it will be, but Team Liquid are definitely favored. And to me, Yampy is the player that has to go crazy. He actually dropped 29 kills with 300 ACS to push Paper Rex out of the tournament. And that was on Chamber. He is a demon here. You're stepping into his map, his territory.
And we did see him. Yampy was really stepping up and really getting fired up at the very end of that bind map, even just playing the Sage. So now, moving over to the Chamber, we expect that he is going to be able to perform. It's about can the rest of the team rise up to the occasion against him, because right now, between the double threat of Alfear and Durka, it's rough.
And you know the mad thing, right? You've got the question that was posed yesterday was, or a couple of days ago, is Yampy the best AWPer in the tournament?
Yep.
He might not be the best AWPer from Finland. He might not be the best AWPer from his school. Yinsu, you were telling me that these guys went to school together. They're literally from the same country.
They literally did. They went to the same school. They were like 1 year apart, so they were literally like at school at the same time. It's not just like a alumni situation, but I think you're right, Sideshow. This is like, it comes down to not wanting to be the best chamber and best AWPer from your country and your school, apparently.
But honestly, Yampy is on fire. And I think certainly these two players are going to put on a treat for you here as we head into Haven. Because it is about putting your chamber in positions to succeed. And that's an area that Fnatic have occasionally struggled in on their defensive side. But Durka's such an all-round great player. You know, I think I was unfair earlier saying Yampy's not the best AWPer from his school or whatever. Because purely in terms of AWPing, Yampy's phenomenal. Yes. But in terms of the all-round game, that's where Durka sometimes just outclasses everyone.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so great at piloting the chamber, just finding value in a situation where it seems like all hope is lost. He just gets a wallbang headshot with a headhunter, whatever it is. Durka just manages to make magic happen when he's on that pick. But Yampy, he's got his work cut out for them if they want to stay in this, because this is everything right now for Team Liquid. You have to just put everything out there. You cannot leave anything else on the table. If you drop this map, your map pick, you are out of the tournament.
Liquid had the same run last year, winning LCQ, coming into Champions. They weren't expected to, you know, well, actually, the expectations were fairly high. The form was good, and they ended up making it to the series. For Fnatic, they got eliminated in the quarterfinals. They finished in 8th place. So they're trying to reverse their fates here, essentially, and make 2022 a divergence from the past.
Especially if you look at the rest of the bracket, there can only be one, realistically, EMEA team that progresses all the way into the top 4.
Yeah.
FPX, they've done their part so far, but one of these two teams, they have to eliminate each other, but they got to look ahead for the rest of the tournament as well, like you said.
Yeah, I think for both of these squads, the year has had so much potential. When you look at both of these teams, they are stacked with individual talent. People have been asking the question, honestly, for years, where's the trophy for Liquid? Where's the trophy for Fnatic? At this point, they're not in the greatest position in the tournament to make a run for that, but if you are going to do it, you absolutely need to be winning here. And for Liquid, on their map pick, where they are favoured, This is where you've got to do it if you have any chance. If there's a hope for this squad, this core of a roster, to be winning tournaments and winning trophies, now or in the future, prove it now.
I mean, with the roster shuffle, inevitable roster shuffle coming up as well ahead of next year, it might be the last time we see some of these players play together on the same team even. So the last dance, who knows, for both of these teams. We are going to head into the Prime Gaming Agent Select here on a Haven. Would you guys like to see any changes here?
I think the only team that I would like to see changes from potentially is Fnatic, and honestly, I think that their style is fine. And overall, is looking fairly similar here.
It just comes down to Enzo's pick. It's going to be the Fade, so not going to be seeing any changes. And, I mean, widely, just across the board, we're just going to have the mirror match.
And for Fnatic, to me, the big problem with their Haven is the macro. It's the calling. And that's why I think that there's going to be a serious spotlight on Boaster here. The calling has been too one-dimensional on the attack side, and the defensive setups haven't been working. But in the mirror match, maybe Alfier and Durka can just diff their opposition. I still think Yampi, though, is going to have an amazing map here. It could be as one-sided as the first.
Ooh, are they starting on defense here? Or attack?
Now you're really testing me into. You're throwing the hard-hitting questions at me. Fnatic are on attacking.
Oh, your memory's great.
Yeah. That was definitely the memory.
Yep. Not the graphic. Not that whatsoever.
I mean, do you still think it's going to be one-sided after seeing that?
It's going to be one-sided if Liquid can win a pistol round.
I just don't have faith in that. Honestly, I don't know. I've got a feeling in the pit of my stomach right now that this could just be a blowout of 2-0. But I hope that Liquid can prove me wrong and take it all the way to 3.
Well, before Sideshow molds even more over the pistol round, let's send this over into map 2 with Pansy and Hypok.
Yeah, we need to kind of really delve into what this map now entails, Mike, because we've seen map 1, it was a blowout. The scoreline eventually closed in, but it was more of a formality. It wasn't real. It wasn't actually close. That's, as I said, call it what it is. Now, map 2, though, this does sit traditionally with Liquid, so give me the win conditions as a start for Fnatic here.
Absolutely. Now, I want to lean on actually that performance versus 100 Thieves, where there was a real inability to capitalize on those early advantages. Alfier and Durka both played fantastically in that appearance versus 100 Thieves, but you look at it again, it comes down to that. It was 37 kills between the two of them. And you look towards kind of the value they got from Mystic on the breach, it wasn't really there. So I want to see Fnatic lean much heavier on the fundamentals, which they are famed for, right? These set pieces to really put, both of their power plays in positions to deliver.
No, I like that, and that's a key point I think we should try and look at this with. As for Liquid, though, it's more, did they get mentally broken on map 1? Have they rounded everything out coming into it? Can they make it look like their map choice? We find out now going into map 2. Team Liquid on the defending side. That, of course, then means Fnatic on the attack.
Denial of control here. We're going to leave Fnatic guessing behind this, but both Scream and Vera slip away into Garage.
Man of frenzies, bloody hell. 3 of them?
There's a lot of frenzies here in Istanbul.
It's true. It's very true. And if you go by Sliggy's rule, more frenzy, more win. Right? So Liquid,
it's a simple logic.
He's a simple man, but that's not a bad thing. So far from the truth. But the 3 for Liquid, let's see if they get the chance to really pull them into position. Again, we're seeing those kind of closer choke points being held. A lot of pressure left towards Yampi. 4 bullets to play with over here towards Long. That boombot should be pretty indicative, as is now noting 2 players.
Good tag as well, Mystic down to 45 already. Fnatic trying to close the gap on the back of that contact, but D-Mystic's actually already set up with his paranoia, which will slow things down. Actually, on the other side of things will be Alfier. He had space away from it. But already 3 players on site here. 30 seconds left. Fnatic don't like what they've seen, and look where Scream's got to. He's going to hear all these steps now.
He's got a paint shot to play with too. Oh, the patience. He actually committed on the first. Probably rightly so, because the rest are splitting around towards C. And C was completely alone. Yeah, left to its own devices, which Durka then has taken over and popped the flag of Fnatic towards. Wants to play a little deeper towards CT, maybe try and get ahead of the utility, but no, the Prowl's going to be there, and a quick crunch comes out. Team Liquid swinging the corner, take down Durka with the trade. Good for Enzo, going to push further forward. The fight on B, Alpha wins it. Fnatic not down, not out yet. It's a 2v2. Oh, but the HP looking low. Alpha needs some heroics here. 18 HP, I don't know if he can do much about this one.
He's got to swing his Screams watching Garrett, though. He might be able to get the peek on the Soulcast.
Can he deny it? Oh, tap, but he pulls him off the defuse, but it's not enough to get the kill. Soulcast is there. And there it is, converting the pistol. Liquid doing what they needed for a long time coming.
And Josh will be grinning ear to ear. It all starts with the pistol.
There he is. There he is.
Let's try from Fnatic, but again, a little late in the day. Dirk has found great progress elsewhere on the back of that contact on A, but again, if they could just execute that pinch onto Spawn when there's, what, 3, potentially 4 players locked up here. That's a terrifying stat. They could have never beaten an EMEA team at an international event.
Oh, right.
The bearer of bad news.
Facing elimination, by the way. Well, let's see if they can play against the odds, eh? Now, any purchase here? No, we got classics coming out. So, nothing much in this one. Let's see what Liquid look like keeping this clean if they can.
Yampy's got to be careful, though. His TP's on the right side, so he has to wide swing to get into range, but find anything the other way, and happy to play this one out a little more defensively.